All right, let's get right into it. We're talking Boxing Day today.
Yeah, going deep on a day that's, well, about a lot more than just leftovers and those after Christmas sales.
Right. We're going to uncover how it went from, this charitable thing centuries ago to like this retail frenzy we know now.
And then how AI is now jumping into the mix and changing things up even more.
It's like tradition meets high tech.
Exactly. And we'll see how these, like, age-old customs are adapting to, well, the digital age.
So first things first, where did Boxing Day even come from?
Okay, so picture this. It's medieval Britain.
Okay, taking us way back.
Yeah. The day after Christmas rolls around and the wealthy folks, they start giving their servants these Christmas boxes.
Like little care packages?
Pretty much. Filled with gifts, some extra money, or even, leftover food.
It's like a combo of a bonus and a way to share.
Right. It was tied to this idea of almsgiving, which was big in Christianity at that time.
So like giving to those in need.
Yeah. Churches would have these alms boxes for donations, and then they'd be given out to the less fortunate after Christmas.
Okay, so we've got this charitable beginning.
Yeah.
But how did we jump from that to the shopping badness we see now?
Well, it was a slow change. In the 1800s, Boxing Day actually became an official bank holiday.
So people finally got a break after the Christmas craziness.
Exactly. It became more about, family time and just relaxing.
So the vibe shifted.
It did. Then fast forward to the late 1900s, and retailers, they kind of see this opportunity, a chance to like really boost sales after Christmas.
And that's when those mega Boxing Day sales really took off.
Yeah, it's become this huge shopping event.
But it's interesting, right, how that commercial aspect kind of clashes with the original spirit of the day.
There's definitely that tension. But even with all the shopping, a lot of people still value Boxing Day for, that family time and just chilling out.
Trying to hold on to tradition.
Yeah. And it's not just a British thing either, right?
Yeah, Boxing Day has gone global.
Totally. It's huge in places like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, but each place has its own spin on it.
So what are some of those unique Boxing Day traditions we see around the world?
Okay, so in Australia, for example, they have this epic yacht race, the Sydney to Hobart.
I've heard of that. It's legendary.
And it kicks off right on Boxing Day. And in the UK, you've got traditional sports like football and horse racing that are big Boxing Day things.
It's cool that they're keeping those like community-focused things alive, even with all the retail stuff happening.
And in some places, that focus on community service and giving back on Boxing Day is still really strong, which is great.
Yeah, it's like they're finding that balance. Okay, but we got to talk about the big change happening now. AI is now a major player in the whole Boxing Day scene.
Yeah, AI is shaking things up.
So how's AI changing how retailers approach this shopping event?
It's pretty wild, actually. Think of AI as like this super-powered personal shopper, but for businesses.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's taking all this data, mountains of data, and using it to like tailor everything.
So no more of those generic ads we used to see everywhere.
No way. Now it's all about these hyper-personalized recommendations. AI looks at like what you've bought before, what you've looked at online, even your social media, to figure out what you're actually likely to buy.
It's like having a mind reader suggesting the perfect gift.
Exactly. And it's not just products. Platforms like Klaviyo, which uses AI for marketing, are helping companies create these super targeted email campaigns.
So those tempting deals are landing right in our inboxes.
Yeah. And we're seeing more and more AI-generated images and ads now, too.
Like those super eye-catching visuals that just scream, sale!
Right. They're designed to, like, grab your attention and make those deals even more appealing.
So it's like AI is pulling the strings behind the scenes, optimizing everything for retailers.
It's definitely become a powerful tool for them. But what about us, the shoppers? How does all this AI magic affect our experience?
Yeah, let's flip the script and look at it from the consumer side.
Think about the last time you were shopping online. All those recommended for you products, the chatbots that pop up. That's AI at work, making things, well, smoother.
And sometimes way more tempting to buy stuff.
Definitely. That's personalization in action. AI is also behind things like visual search, where you upload a picture to find similar stuff.
Oh yeah, I use that all the time.
And even augmented reality, where you can, like, virtually try on clothes or see how furniture would look in your home.
Whoa, so you can basically redecorate your whole living room on Boxing Day without leaving the couch. It's kind of dangerous.
It can be, but it's also pretty cool. It's all about making things super convenient and personalized, which is, especially helpful during the holiday rush.
Okay, so it sounds like AI is taking the guesswork out of shopping.
In a lot of ways, yeah. It's all about efficiency and making sure you find exactly what you're looking for.
But let's be real. AI is powerful, but is all this reliance on it, like, all good?
You bring up a good point. There are definitely some things to think about.
Yeah, it raises some pretty important questions, doesn't it?
Definitely. We got to be mindful of, how AI might be used to kind of manipulate our choices.
Hmm.
These algorithms, they're designed to influence us, and sometimes it's really subtle.
It's like they know our weaknesses better than we do.
Yeah, and that makes you wonder, are we really in control of our decisions, or are we just being nudged by these algorithms? And then there's the whole data privacy thing. These systems are collecting tons of info about our shopping habits, and that data needs to be handled carefully.
So while AI can make things easier, we need to be aware of the potential downsides too.
Exactly. It's about being informed and making sure companies are being transparent about how they're using our data.
All right, so we've gone from like medieval charity boxes to AI-powered shopping sprees. To really get a sense of how much things have changed, let's compare what Boxing Day was like before and after AI entered the picture. First, paint us a picture of the pre-AI era. What was it like shopping back then?
Okay, so imagine this. No personalized recommendations, no targeted ads, no prices changing all the time.
Sounds like a simpler time.
It was. Boxing Day shopping used to be way more analog. Think about those packed stores digging through racks of clothes, relying on word of mouth or those giant newspaper ads to find deals.
It feels almost vintage now.
It kind of is. Marketing was super traditional, like TV commercials, flyers, maybe some radio ads. And forget about instant customer service. If you had a question, you had to hunt down an actual salesperson.
So it was way more work for shoppers and probably for retailers too.
Yeah. And inventory management, forget about it. Retailers had to rely on like their gut feeling and whatever data they had from previous years to figure out what to stock.
It must have been stressful, both for shoppers trying to find what they wanted and for retailers trying to manage everything.
Totally. But even with the challenges, there was something kind of charming about the pre-AI era. It was more hands-on.
Hmm.
You had to put in the effort to find those good deals.
Yeah, there's something about that thrill of the hunt. Okay, so that's the pre-AI picture. Now, fast forward to today. How has AI reshaped Boxing Day?
It's a completely different game now. AI is basically the driving force behind like almost everything. It's all about efficiency, personalization, and using data to make smart decisions.
So no more rushing through crowded malls.
Well, you can still do that if you want that old school vibe. But AI has made online shopping so easy and personalized that, a lot of people just prefer to shop from home.
It's definitely tempting to just stay cozy on the couch.
Yeah. And for retailers, AI has been a total game changer.
Okay, let's break it down. Starting with marketing. How has AI taken over that side of things?
Instead of those generic one-size-fits-all ads, we've got these super targeted campaigns now. AI analyzes your data to figure out exactly what you're into, then shows you ads that are like tailored to your specific tastes.
It's like having a personal algorithm curating your entire shopping experience.
Pretty much. This means marketing is way more efficient. Retailers can reach the right people with the right message, which, obviously increases their chances of making a sale.
Okay, marketing's covered. What about the actual shopping experience itself? How's AI changed that?
It's made it super smooth and personalized, too. Remember those AI-powered recommendations? They're everywhere now, guiding you toward things you might like based on your past behavior. And things like visual search and augmented reality are making online shopping more interactive and engaging.
So it's not just about finding a good deal anymore. It's about this whole curated shopping journey.
Exactly. And we can't forget about customer service. AI-powered chatbots are there 247 to answer questions, help you track orders, even offer personalized recommendations.
Way better than waiting in line to talk to someone.
For sure. Okay, so we've talked about marketing, the shopping experience, customer service. What about behind the scenes? How is AI impacting things like inventory management?
Yeah, let's peek behind the curtain.
This is where AI really shines. Remember all that talk about running out of stock or having too much leftover stuff in the pre-AI days? Well, AI algorithms can now analyze tons of data like past sales, what's trending now, even what people are saying on social media to predict demand with crazy accuracy.
So no more scrambling to restock popular items or having a warehouse full of stuff no one wants.
Exactly. AI is making inventory management way more streamlined, which is good for retailers and shoppers.
Win-win.
For sure. No one wants to deal with a sold-out item, especially during a big sale like Boxing Day.
Okay, so we've got personalized marketing, a super smooth shopping experience, and AI-powered inventory management. Sounds like AI has really taken Boxing Day to a whole new level.
It's made things more efficient and data-driven, that's for sure.
But let's not forget about those ethical considerations we talked about earlier. AI's influence is a powerful thing, and that comes with some responsibilities.
Right. As AI gets more and more integrated into our shopping experiences, we got to think about those questions of, manipulation, data privacy, and whether we're really in control of our choices. We got to advocate for transparency from companies and make sure these technologies are being used ethically.
Well said. This deep dive has already taken us from medieval charity boxes to AI-powered shopping sprees. It's amazing how much Boxing Day has transformed over the centuries. But our exploration isn't over yet.
So we've explored the roots of Boxing Day and how AI is changing things up.
Yeah, from those medieval charity boxes to the high-tech world we live in
It
now.
was quite a journey, but now let's see how this holiday plays out around the world, beyond just Britain.
It's got to be interesting to see how different cultures have kind of embraced this tradition.
Yeah, each place has its own unique twist. Let's start with Canada. What's the Boxing Day scene like over there?
Yeah, I'm curious to hear about our neighbors to the north, how they celebrate.
Well, for a lot of Canadians, Boxing Day is all about family time,
Yeah,
just unwinding after the holiday rush.
sounds nice and relaxing.
Yeah, real cozy vibes. Maybe enjoying some winter activities if the weather's cooperating, of course.
But I bet those famous Canadian sales are a big part of it too.
You bet. Canadians love a good bargain just as much as anyone else. Electronics, clothes, home goods, everything's on sale.
So it's a mix of like chill vibes and some serious shopping.
Yeah, you got to get those deals. And some retailers even kick off their sales before Christmas, so it's like this multi-day event.
Oh, wow. So they really stretch it out.
They do. Okay, let's hop over to Australia now. They have a reputation for doing things a bit differently, right?
Yeah, always got to keep things interesting.
Exactly. Australia takes Boxing Day to a whole new level, especially when it comes to sports.
Oh, yeah, they're a big sports country.
We mentioned the Sydney to Hobart yacht race earlier. It's this massive event that basically captures the whole country's attention.
Pretty epic. And it starts right on Boxing Day.
Yep. But it's not just sailing. They've got cricket matches, horse racing, all these big sporting events that are like deeply ingrained in their Boxing Day traditions.
So you can picture yourself, relaxing on the beach, soaking up the sun. Remember, it's summer down there. And cheering on your favorite team.
Yeah, it's a totally different vibe compared to like the shopping frenzy you might see in other places. More laid back.
I kind of like that.
But of course, Australia hasn't totally escaped the retail side of Boxing Day. Those big sales are still a major draw, especially for people who want to spend their Christmas cash or gift cards.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, last stop on our Boxing Day World Tour, New Zealand. What's happening down there?
New Zealand shares a lot of similarities with Australia when it comes to Boxing Day. They've got a strong sporting culture, too, with cricket and horse racing being popular choices for the day.
So more sporting action.
And of course, they've also embraced the retail side of things, with big sales all over the country.
So it seems like the common thread across all these Commonwealth countries is like this blend of traditions, sporting events, and of course those Boxing Day deals.
Yeah, it's a fascinating mix. Boxing Day is a great example of how a holiday can, evolve and adapt while still holding on to those core elements.
It's a day for family, for relaxing, for giving back, and let's be honest, for snagging some awesome bargains.
Exactly. It's a cool blend of old and new. But before we move on, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier, the ethical stuff, the considerations around AI and how it's shaping our shopping experiences.
Yeah, it's something we can't ignore. AI is changing how we shop in like some really profound ways.
Totally. And it's crucial to look at, both the good and the bad. One of the big concerns is the potential for manipulation. These algorithms, they're designed to influence us, and sometimes it can be super subtle, almost subconscious.
It's like those targeted ads that just seem to know exactly what you're thinking.
It can feel kind of creepy sometimes, right? And that brings up questions about our autonomy as consumers. Are we really making our own decisions, or are we just being, nudged by these algorithms? And then there's the whole data privacy thing. These systems are collecting mountains of information about us, and we need to make sure it's being handled responsibly.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's like a trade-off, right?
Yeah.
We get all this convenience and personalization, but at what cost?
That's the question. So how do we strike that balance? How do we embrace the good stuff while protecting ourselves?
It's a tough one.
It is. Well, first and foremost, we need more transparency from companies. We need to know how they're using our data, how these algorithms work. It can't all be a black box.
It's like lifting the curtain and seeing the AI magic happen.
Right. We also need to be aware of our own biases, Just because an algorithm suggests something doesn't mean we have to buy it. It's about being critical and making our own choices.
Yeah, a healthy dose of skepticism is always a good thing, especially when we're talking about AI and shopping.
And finally, we need stronger regulations that, protect our privacy and prevent companies from misusing AI. It's a powerful tool, but it needs to be used for good.
It's about harnessing that power responsibly.
Exactly. It's a complex issue, but it's a conversation we need to keep having as AI continues to, reshape our world, especially when it comes to shopping.
Well said. This deep dive has already taken us from those medieval charity boxes to AI-powered shopping sprees. It's amazing how much Boxing Day has changed over the centuries.
It really has, and it's just getting started.
Right, we still got more to explore. Stay tuned as we dive into the economic impact of this massive shopping day and what the future might hold for Boxing Day in our increasingly digital world. All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We've been talking about Boxing Day, its history, those global traditions, and how AI is, changing everything.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey so far.
But now let's talk money, the economics of Boxing Day.
Oh.
Because it's not just a holiday, right? It's this massive economic event.
Oh, yeah, it's a huge deal for retailers and the whole economy, really.
Way bigger than just snagging a good deal on TV.
Yeah.
So break it down for us. What's the financial impact of this shopping extravaganza?
Well, Boxing Day sales, they generate billions of dollars in revenue for retailers all around the world. It's this key time for them to, clear out inventory, boost their profits, and set themselves up for the new year.
So it's like a fresh start.
Kinda, yeah. And this whole spending spree, it doesn't just benefit retailers, it ripples through the entire economy.
So it's more than just people getting discounts.
Right. When sales go up, production has to go up too, which means more jobs, more work for industries like manufacturing, shipping, all that.
Makes sense.
And then the government gets more tax revenue from all those Boxing Day purchases. So it's kind of a win-win-win situation.
For retailers, consumers, and the economy as a whole.
Yeah, generally speaking it is. But, not every retailer sees the same level of success on Boxing Day. The competition is fierce.
Okay.
Smaller businesses, especially the ones without a big online presence, they often struggle to compete with those deep discounts offered by the bigger guys.
It's like David versus Goliath, right? Trying to hold their own against the giants.
And then there are all those logistical challenges too, Managing all that inventory, getting deliveries out on time, dealing with customer service, it all gets amplified during the Boxing Day rush. It's a high-stakes time.
Definitely a lot of pressure on those retailers.
Yeah, no doubt. But even with those challenges, Boxing Day is still this crucial event for the retail world, a chance to, connect with customers, boost sales, and end the year on a positive note.
Okay, so we've talked about the present. Now let's look ahead. What do you think the future holds for Boxing Day? Especially with how fast technology is changing everything.
Ooh, this is where things get interesting. I think as technology keeps advancing, we're going to see Boxing Day become even more personalized, more integrated with our digital lives.
So even more AI.
Totally. Imagine these immersive virtual shopping experiences where you can, try on clothes or test out gadgets in a totally virtual world.
That's like straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It's closer than you think. And then there's the idea of AI-powered shopping assistants that, curate your entire Boxing Day experience for you. They know your tastes, what you've bought before, and suggest things you might like.
So they take all the guesswork out of it.
Yeah. And it's not just for consumers. I think retailers are going to rely even more on data analytics to shape their strategies. AI is going to get even better at predicting what people are going to buy, optimizing prices, and creating those super personalized marketing campaigns.
So they'll have this whole AI-powered game plan for Boxing Day.
Exactly. And I also think we're going to see more emphasis on sustainability and ethical practices. People are becoming more aware of the impact their purchases have, so retailers are going to have to adapt.
Yeah, it's not just about getting the cheapest thing anymore.
Yeah, right. It's about making responsible choices. And then there's the whole rise of social commerce. I think we'll see more and more shopping happening directly through social media.
So maybe Boxing Day will be less about crowded malls and more about scrolling through our feeds.
To some extent, yeah. The lines between shopping, social media, and entertainment, they're getting blurry.
It's a whole new world out there. But in all this talk about the future, it's kind of comforting to think that some things about Boxing Day probably won't change.
Yeah, you're right. No matter how much technology shapes the experience, the core of Boxing Day will likely stay the same. spending time with loved ones, relaxing, celebrating, and of course, maybe grabbing a few deals along the way.
It's good to know that some traditions will stick around.
Well, this has been an awesome deep dive. We've covered the history, the traditions, the economics, and even the future of Boxing Day. It's such a fascinating holiday with all its different layers.
It really is. It's more than just a day of sales, that's for sure. Yeah. Thanks for joining us on this journey. We'll be back next week with a brand new topic to explore. Until then, keep those minds curious.